Hey, this is Brady with Pickleball Effect. Today I'm doing what I'm calling a quick look review of Vatic Pro's new Saga series. This will be a shorter review video than what I've done in the past that covers the essentials of what you need to know about the paddle, though I'll share more in-depth details in my written review linked in the description if you want to check that out. You'll see more quick look videos like this paired with longer form written reviews from me in the future so that I can cover more paddles in a month than I would be able to otherwise. Okay, with that out of the way, let's get into the review. Vatic Pro is known for their budget-friendly performance-level paddles, and I see them as one of the leaders in that space. While they have great paddles and I recommend them often, what they don't have is a power paddle. This release of their Saga series was designed to fill in that gap. While the paddle does have some power, it's not your typical power paddle profile. It has bigger power levels but medium to lower pop levels, which makes for this really interesting combination where you can control the paddle as well as most other control paddles, but you get more power from it when you swing bigger, which I'll explain more in a minute. Sticking with their budget-friendly prices, these paddles will retail for $150, and if you use my code 10EFFECT on their website, it'll give you $10 off and help support my channel. While most power type paddles incorporate some level of extra foam in the core combined with thermoforming to achieve that extra power, Vatic Pro didn't do that. Their design is similar to the PaddleTech Bantam series where they have a combination of carbon fiber and composite materials in the face, paired with a wider cell honeycomb core, which are both elements that will increase power and is a technique that we're going to see more from brands in the future. These aren't thermoform paddles also, just like the PaddleTechs, which is going to make the paddle's core more durable and the paddle's performance won't dramatically change over time, like we've experienced with most paddles that use more foam in the core. The biggest difference between these and PaddleTech's paddles are that these are thicker at 16 millimeters and they have foam injected around the entire perimeter, which are both elements that broaden the paddle's sweet spot and reduce pop. The series is being released in two shapes, their Flash Hybrid shape and their elongated V7 shape. Both options are only available in the 16mm core for now, but each shape is available in two handle lengths, which is nice and not something you see from many other brands. They have a standard handle length at 5.3 inches and a long handle length at 5.75 inches. So here's a look at the spec sheets for each shape and handle length option. Without going into too much detail here, the Flash SH is going to be the most approachable and easiest paddle to play for most players, since it's not too heavy yet still has some forgiveness and plow through. The 120 swing weights on the others are on the heavier side, but not uncommon, while the 125 on the V7 LH is pretty high and will fatigue your arm more over time. I'll also note here that the Flash LH is actually longer than the Flash SH. The Flash SH is a hybrid length paddle, while the Flash LH is an elongated length paddle, which is probably part of the reason we saw a big jump in swing weight between the two. I'm not sure if they intended to do that, but that's how they are. Then the twist weights on each paddle are respectable and nothing to worry about there. Let's talk about how they perform now. As I mentioned before, the paddles have a higher power and medium-low pop profile. I haven't played with another paddle that has such a big gap between the power and pop. My serve speed tests for the Flash model were coming in just under the PaddleTech TKO C14.3, which is known for having bigger power, while the V7 model was on par with it. When you lay into a serve, drive, or overhead, you find the power there, but it otherwise behaves like a control paddle because it doesn't have that pop that typically accompanies a paddle with this much power. My pop tests were putting the paddles in the 30th percentile in my paddle database, which is in the same ballpark as a paddle like the 6-year Ruby. It's more pop than Vatic Pro's Prism series, but it's not dramatically more. The paddle absorbs pace for you on resets and dinks as if it was a control paddle, and it makes it easier to work your way up to the net and place your shots. You even have to swing a little bit more to get enough pace on the ball to get over the net on thirds. While the medium-low pop did make it easier to control in many situations, there were times I wished it was giving me more on counters, and since the paddles are mid to high weighted paddles, I lost some offensive ability there since I wasn't particularly fast and my counters were toned down. The paddle has a muted feel and a softer thud-like sensation that isn't exactly plush, but feels comfortable and solid without any unwanted vibrations. When you drive the ball, it doesn't make a loud sound, so it doesn't seem like you're hitting it that hard sometimes, but the ball goes, and when you compare it side by side with other paddles, you can tell you're getting good pace on the ball. Forgiveness-wise, it plays more forgiving than the PaddleTech Bantam TKO 14.3 paddle, and it is more lively around the throat and top of the paddle like a thermoform paddle is, though it doesn't have an exaggerated sweet spot from side to side and is more average there. My spin tests were coming in the mid to high 1900s, which is good, though not the highest I've ever measured. The spins seemed available all over the court court and there weren't any concerns there. So here's my recommendation. I think these are good options for players who like control paddles but are looking for a little more help on their drives and putaways without giving up that control they need on drops, dinks, and resets. I also think that this profile fits intermediate skill levels well, where you can punish balls and finish points when you need to, while also reducing errors and keeping the ball down better. However, if you're a higher level player, I think you'll be left wanting a little more pop on counters, and or if you are sensitive to heavier paddles, then the Flash SH is your only option since all the others are on the heavier side. So there you have it. Thanks for watching, and I hope it helped.